Nicola Sturgeon blasted for damaging school policy as she tries to one-up Boris Johnson. Nicola Sturgeon has been blasted for keeping schools open after she issued even tougher coronavirus restrictions for Scotland over Christmas. Nicola Sturgeon was quick to one-up Boris Johnson, introducing tough Level 4 measures. The First Minister introduced the toughest level of restrictions for Scotland on Wednesday, which sees Scots barred from indoor socialising and non-essential businesses forced to close their doors. However, despite putting Scotland into Level 4 restrictions, Ms Sturgeon has allowed schools to remain open. Scottish Teaching Union (EIS) has urged Ms Sturgeon to rethink allowing schools to remain open in Level 4 areas. Larry Flanagan, the EIS General Secretary, said, "Our members want to be in schools working with pupils, but they also want pupils and staff to be safe." The Scottish Government's rejection of remote or blended learning for schools in areas with high rates of infection has increased the level of risk for pupils, teachers and their families. It is time for the Scottish Government to rethink this damaging policy, with the danger of increasing rates of community infection throughout the winter months. Ms Sturgeon has dismissed Mr Flanagan's concerns, citing Public Health Scotland (PHS) data which show around 620 children aged between 2 and 17 are diagnosed with coronavirus every week in Scotland, a rate of 70 per 100,000 children. Despite teachers represented by EIS saying social distancing is impossible in schools, Ms Sturgeon also said PHS experts had found no evidence of any difference in the risk of hospitalisation for teachers when compared to the general population. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said all four national leaders had agreed the UK will continue to allow the easing of restrictions over the week of Christmas. Mr Johnson said yesterday from Downing Street, "A shorter Christmas is going to be a safer Christmas," while explaining the eased restrictions will go ahead. The Prime Minister, relaying the results of a crisis talk with Ms Sturgeon, Northern Irish First Minister Arlene Foster and Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford, said the decision to keep the eased restrictions was unanimous. He added, "When we say 3 households can meet on 5 days, I want to stress, these are maximums, not targets to aim for, and it's always going to be safest to minimize the number of people you meet. If that means you're visiting others, we're asking you, for the 5 days beforehand, as early as Friday, to reduce the number of people you're in contact with to the lowest possible."